We're gonna bring that rock up back from over there. We're gonna bring that rock up back from over there. We're on the ball. We're on the ball. We're on the ball. We're on the ball. You got to hold and give, but do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line. They'll always hit you.
John Barnes, obviously, towards the end, some of the good and some of the bad of football songs down the years. And Manic Street Preachers are set to release the official song for Wales' appearance at Euro 2016. The band met up with the Wales squad last night to film an accompanying video. Here is midfielders Joe Ledley's take on last night's action.
It was rocking, and fair dues to what they've done. It's a great song, and yeah, everyone had to get involved. So something new to us. But we all enjoyed it. As I said, it's a great song, and we had a song like this for 50-odd years. So this might be a one-off, but it's a great song, and we look forward to the release.
So if they had you singing and they show you the way to sing, you show them the way to dance.
It got mentioned, but I said, nah, I don't think I can get that low anymore. But no, it was a great experience for myself. Done it with Cardiff before in the FA Cup. But to do it with the set of boys and the nation as well was a good laugh, and all the boys enjoyed it.
That's Joe Ledley speaking earlier today to Rob. Let's bring Nicky from Manic Street Preachers into the conversation. How are you, Nick? You okay?
Yep, not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, very good, very good. Hanging around at the Vale Hotel today. They all seem to have been impressed by last night, which is kind of a good sign.
Do you know what? Because it was a pretty nerve-wracking day all round. You never know how these things are going to turn out, but it just turned into a blast at the end. I mean, by the end, Christy Gunter was screaming his head off, and he was the cheerleader, getting everyone rocking. I did ask Joe Ledley to do his dance, but he said he couldn't do it anymore. So I did a scissor kick for him in a hotel room in the Vale.
That's impressive. That's probably the smallest audience you've done a scissor kick to.
For a while.
In terms of getting them on board, because I'm been watching clips all day of like the Everton squad on Wogan in '85, and, stuff like that, which is just footballers in a situation they shouldn't be in. How hard was it to kind of get them to get Gunter to kind of sing really loud? Did it take a while?
It was a lot easier than we thought. And Chris Coleman was brilliant. We met Chris earlier in the day, and we're much similar age. I remember Chris coming with Kit Simons to see us in Wembley Arena, about 99.
Yeah.
Everyone a bit worse for wear, to be honest with you. But, it was just easy to talk to Chris, and he got everyone going and then meeting the players. Just really lovely bunch of guys, I got to say. You always sometimes you get the impression of this kind of detached footballer and stuff, but it was just great talking to Ashley Williams and Ledley and Wayne Hennessy and Joe Allen. Yeah, just brilliant.
Because I've heard Hennessy was terrible. I've heard from a few of the players today that he is probably tone deaf.
Do you know what? By the end, they were really singing along, though. And as in a typical Manic song, there's a lot of words in it.
The actual plan for this, then? Sort of the genesis of the idea. Is it something you've always wanted to do?
1993, Wales Romania. Yeah, so not long.
You're waiting as long as rest of Wales fans.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I really thought about it. And then it's sort of come through a few phases ever since. And then that kind of feeds through into lyrics. It is a sort of, it's tinged with a good bit of kind of Welsh tragedy and a massive bit of uplift as well. It goes through all the kind of ups and downs of Welsh football through the decades.
Oh, and Vaughan Williams tried to nick a guitar off you and have a go?
We were trying to get him all. I'm trying to get Ashley Williams to play, but he was afraid he'd break one. And I said, well, I've done that a bit over the years myself. A few broken bases, all right.
You played a few good football songs, a few frankly terrible ones. What's your favourites?
Well, obviously, World in Motion is probably the benchmark. I think Three Lions does have a lot of charm as well, if I'm being totally dispassionate, just as a songwriter. Yeah. And it's a good lyric. The lyrics come through. And, I know Ian Brody well. He put a lot of heart and soul into it. So, one of my favourite bands ever, obviously Echo and the Bunnymen. You didn't play there. Oh. Echo and the Bunnymen and the Spice Girls.
And the Spice Girls and a couple of Ocean Colour Scene.
Oh my God, it's one of the worst records ever made.
It is, isn't it? It's up there with it. What was Embrace's one? The world.
that's a bad one as well.
Yeah. Those
I
are.
remember talking to Ian McCulloch when he sang on one of our songs, and I asked him about it. He said, I can't remember it. I can't remember doing it.
It did strike me as a meeting in a corridor at a studio that probably should never. I've got an idea, guys.
I remember years ago,
Yeah.
Newport, I'm sure, probably before your time, Nicky, but I'm sure Newport County fans got onto something like Sports Night with Coleman singing.
Wow.
No, I mean, I could be wrong on that.
What we talking sort of Len Ashurst year?
Well, yeah, that sort of time, and before that as well. I mean, it was
good team.
Yeah, well, they were a good team. Yeah, they.
Quarterfinals of the Cup Winners' Cup, Carl Zeiss.
It was Carl Zeiss. If Keith Oakes hadn't missed the header, who knows? The whole history could have been different. Now you're talking.
See, I knew you'd talk Rob's language eventually.
What did come across being there was because we're 47 now, and obviously Chris Coleman's the sort of same age group, but it's just amazing how young people are.
He was all right with conversation though. Yeah, you could relate.
Yeah, totally. And I just so impressed with Joe Allen's new look as well. I mean, he looked brilliant. He just looked like a classic Argentinian footballer. From
What's more
78.
impressive, his hairdo at the moment or Joe Ledley's beard? Which one struck more with you?
I think Joe Allen's hairdo. I did say to him, I'm not sure. He seemed a tiny bit shocked, but then he laughed. I just go, you're looking good at the moment.
Joe Ledley's beard is something of it's amazing to look at, isn't it? I mean,
it is, especially when it's right by you singing.
Been having grooming tips off him earlier today. Right, so what's the plan with this? When's it being released now?
I'm not 100% sure. We finished it, and it sounded great last night, and just putting the artwork together. And I think with these things, timing-wise, you tend to leave it quite late if we can keep a lid on it, because you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, So I would imagine towards the end of May, or ties in with us doing the Liberty. Actually, it'll be like a send-off, like Ali's Army. Do you remember that?
Yeah. That's
look how that ended up.
Oh, that didn't go so well, mate.
It was a good tournament, though. At least they did beat that game against Holland, one of the best games ever.
Nicky, thank you for your time, mate. Really appreciate
all right.
it. That's Nicky Wire.
And don't forget, of course, the biggest thing at all about it is Steph's actually on it, singing backing vocals.
There is a moment where we're making a behind-the-scenes documentary with Nicky and the Manics.
Hang on, Steph, you haven't mentioned this.
There is, yeah. I'm thinking I'm very low down in the mix on it, yeah?
Yeah. Well, no, you're up there.
Really? Oh, this is
it
worrying.
was worth every of the £5 I give you. It was worth it.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate your time, Nicky. That's Nicky Wire from Manic Street Preachers. And yeah, we'll bring you that as a Radio Wales Sports special behind the scenes with the Manics in the making of Together Stronger. Come on, Wales.